Good evening, everybody. We are back in Arknights for the third time this week. Might be a new record for me. And we have a new event, which is the Ship of Fools, but in Latin. And we have the lovely Irene and Spectre the Unchained, aka Laurentina, aka Shark. And as you can see, I have a healthy amount of pulls, and I want this cat. I want this cat right here. 6-star, the character drop rate, 30%, 5 times boost rate, yep. So I want this cat, and I will get this cat no matter what. However, to guarantee cat, we need 300 pulls in order to get 300 of these things so I can buy her. Because the odds are not great. But by golly, we'll make it happen. Alright, so because we get 24 free rolls, 11 of those I get today, and then 13 more puts me at 300. So if I do 287 pulls, and that's all I need to do to get Resmontis. Just 287. Also, something that came up last night in chat was...
You'll be an operator. Doesn't matter, as long as I get to stay.
So, with Roberta, with her Japanese voice line, she says Roberta, which is how it's explained in her operator file. She's an Italian American, and she makes sure to explain to say her name the proper Italian way. But the EN voice says Roberta instead of Roberta. So that really bugs me because it's not accurate. This is particularly annoying because we learned that Irene has a Spanish accent, which is accurate to her region of origin, but I'm wondering if they got a new voice director or something, because it's just not consistent. Hi, Meteorite. And Asticia. Meteorite. So far, 3 5-stars and 11 pulls is not terrible. None of them on banner, though. Hi, Chiave. This is why I didn't roll on Horn's banner at all, because I knew I'd just get him through this. A young man after my own heart. Very unfortunate the 5-star of this banner is someone I'm not going to level despite being next spawn. Yeah, Windflit is not a popular operator because I'll talk more about him when we get him, but I got Chestnut. That's one of the characters I was looking for. For those that don't know, I am also a geologist. So I enjoy other geologist characters like Mint. Alright, 3 more and I'll just do 10 pulls.
どうも。私はメテオ。森の弓使いよ。
こんにちは。マスター呼んでください。よっ。人を見る目がある。
Hi, Shora.
世界で一番強い地下剣闘士。
Alright, let's dig in. That is the blue bag. That is not what I want to see.
Today, からお世話になります。術師の
コードネームはパインボーンです。今日からロドスで働かせ。
So far, I'm not even getting Windflit. I've gotten 4 off banners. He's not showing up to work today. He's ashamed. And that is my second blue bag. So far, I'm not having terribly good luck. I'll admit that. Oh, that's a rainbow bag.
正義の道は暴挙の使徒により断たれた。我が主よ、復讐と悪意の名のもとに弱き者を導きたまえ。
It's my favorite Italian.
Hello, I'm Roberta. We meet again. Once I sign here, I'll be your personal stylist, right? Huh. I'm Melenta. From... Reporting in! You must be the doctor. Call me Myrtle. Myrtle of Durin. Durin said I could get a job here, so...
Okay, now Windflit appears. So the thing about Windflit is he's an artificer like Roberta. But the issue with him is he makes things that only apply an attack buff to casters and supporters. And they're not terribly huge attack buffs. They're at most 17% without using a skill. And I don't know if you can stack them by doubling up. But the thing is, with supporters and casters, they don't have particularly high attack values, so they don't get as much of a benefit from plus attack modifiers as, say, using Inspire or whatever. I could see a use case with Tamimi, giving her a little bit of an attack buff, but it's not a bigger buff than I can just give with Sora, for example. It's not very good, is what I was trying to say.
I recognize you, and you recognize me. We don't need all those boring introductions. But you still don't know me, and I still don't know you. If I recall correctly, Drylanders use simple enough means to get to know each other. So let's get communicating.
I'm sorry, I'm having a giggle moment after hearing that in my ear very closely. Alright, that's one of them down. Another blue. That is a lot of midnight. That was a 2 4-star blue bag. That was sad and decrepit. Come on, Rasmontis. Make it so I don't have to blow all my pulls on you. Hi, Weedy. You're none of the things that I want right now. Sorry.
スカベンジャーだ。汚い仕事は任せてくれ。
Hi, Hamelin.
合同予備隊 A6 のポプカルです。A6 のバニラと申します。訓練生として。私は王室探偵のメイと申すのだ。捜査に協力してもらうのだ。
ドクター、こんにちは。
And another one flip. So in Near Light, it took me about 140 pulls to get both operators that I wanted.
我が主の盟友よ、あなたにヒーラの祝福を。俺は
Irene, Inquisition Messenger of Iberia. Are you the Doctor of Rhodes Island? It seems the Aegir hunters really trust you. Do show me how special you are as we work together in the future.
Yeah, I got Hispanic lady. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And Cisa. Okay, but we're not done. We still need to do at least another 200 pulls, and I am 100 or... I'm 100 or random away from... 100 or 200? I need 1200? Yes, I'm 100 away. From, Very Sparking Resmontis. I rather like Resmontis from a player from a gameplay standpoint. Like, she's not terribly special, but the sound effect on S3 makes the happy chemicals in my brain, so I would rather very much enjoy Resmontis. Just because I like her. Who doesn't enjoy, like, throwing giant, Who doesn't enjoy crushing people with giant things telekinetically? That's awesome. I mean, I could spark Scotty, but I don't really particularly feel the need to do that. Scotty's always available on people's lists. I don't need to bother with her. Besides, I have at least 2 bards. And I'm pretty sure she would drain my brain cells. I don't need Seaborn HRT today.
What's wrong? Your face is beet red. That's just how it...
コードネームはアシッドドロップ。このスケボーも登録済みの僕の装備だ。
合同予備隊 A6 カタパルト着任です。さてさて、あんたはあの僕年次。
Irene, Inquisition Messenger of Iberia.
Alright, that's 2 Irene. And he needs to quit it with all these blue bags. Okay, this is at the end, so I'm just gonna go ahead and 1, 2, 3... Another Irene. That's 3 Irenes so far. Another one flip?
You're the best tactician on Rhodes Island?
Oh, no, Black Knight.
I'm Black Knight. And excuse me, but we're going to need a showdown. If I lose, you'll be my boss from then on, and I ask to be trained properly.
Oh, that's a nice surprise. Still got 150 more to go. Yeah, I don't know what the voice director is doing, because it's... Recently, they've been doing a little bit better with the regional accents, but previously before that, it's just really, it just feels inconsistent. Another one flip. Rainbow bag.
Reporting in. You must be the doctor. Call me
Well, she
Lola.
is from
We're
Billington. She should have an Australian accent. I still fear the day that we get Zima Ian voice and she just sounds extremely non-Russian.
From now on,
I'm getting a phone call.
I recognize you, and you recognize me. We don't need all those boring introductions. But you still don't know me, and I still don't know you. If I recall correctly,
Hello?
Drylanders you...
今日からお世話に
Grandma. Oh, did I... whoop. I'm off mic. I'll be back in a minute. Alright, still more pulls to go. I think this is the most pulls I've ever done at once. Another one flip. I don't know what number I'm at with him now, but it's probably above 6. Did not need another Elysium, so that's just more gold tickets. Come on, something good. Not something good. I don't even know if I've gotten a single another chestnut. I also need to pay attention to my pity. Since I need to know whether or not I spend to get the last pod afterwards. Or the last... I don't know if I should break my pity after sparking Rosmantis or not. Oh, that is 3! That is 3 6 stars. That is 3 flippin' 6 stars back to back.
A6 の隊長オーキッドよ
Irene, Inquisition Messenger of Iberia. Are you the doctor of Rhodes Island? It seems the Aegir hunters really trust you.
That's one Irene.
I recognize you, and you recognize me. We don't need all those...
Vector and Irene have come to flirt in front of me, apparently.
And I still don't know you.
Irene, Inquisition Messenger
Double
of
Irene.
Iberia.
That's
Are you the doctor of Rhodes Island?
that is some bag. Gonna go Yep, I'm gonna do that. Okay, I still got another 40 pulls to go. What am I at? I can get one more Irene before I max Potter. Surprisingly only 6 Windflint. Unless that's extras. I don't think it's extra. No, it shouldn't be extras. Alright, we got 40 more to go. 50 more to go. Oh god, another one? Okay, so my pity's at 4.
My name is
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
cohort.
It's, Saley. I got Jamie, Yuri. I got Jamie. Okay, so my pity is now at 4. That was a jump scare. So that means I have a very high chance of breaking my pity by 300. Rainbow bag, so another 6-star. My pity's at 9.
I recognize you.
Yeah, I don't think I well, that's 33, so... It's still pretty high. And who knows, maybe I'll break it again. Texas. I think I can still use text spot, and I need... Need that maintenance compensation. And just a blue bag. But I got another chestnut, so win. Okay. I think what I'll do is I will burn my sanity real quick so I can get back down under. And, then I will go into the operator menu and sort all this stuff out. Because my good golly gosh, I have just burnt through everything I have. Look at my green certificate amount, and watch what happens when I press this. My god. I am loaded with distinction certificates. Fear me and everything I have just become. I am the economy now. I need to start burning through some of these recruitment permits. I'm gonna be farming a lot of manganese, so I'm gonna hold off on that for right now. I'm just gonna hold that right there. And I kind of want to get Mustama, and I'm gonna need to get Blemishine, but I can probably get this and Mustama and April. But I'm just gonna hold off for it. That'll help me clean up some of the stuff I'm missing.
イベリア人はかつて海と大地を征服せんと勇んだ。
It'd have been nice if this was in the Ian voice actor.
静寂の中でひっそりと消えてゆく。黄金の時代はとうに語る言葉を失い、大地の僧帽もまた闇の潮流に飲まれ瞑目した。今ここにそれは再びまなじりを決するだろう。イベリアの名のもとに。
I love Bloodborne. Never played it, but still, love Bloodborne. Maybe someday. I love her so much. She's so happy. Look at her. I don't know how to say this. Stultifera Navis? Something along those lines. Grand Faro. A lot going on here. This road has already become scantily traveled. No one cares about the stories that once unfolded here. Nobody remains to record them. Silence falls on all equally, bringing the same quietude. Only the street sign marks these memories, roughly engraved with the name of this small town, Grand Faro. There's a lot going on here. He threw a question to the ancient bottomless well and received an answer in return. Okay, that's plot. I love you, Miss Oldwell, but the arrival of outsiders has disturbed this peaceful town. It would be better to ask around at the Bitterscale Tavern. Where are the maps? Yuri, I don't know what's going on. There's just... everything is happening. A man who has clearly consumed excess amounts of cheap alcohol over a long period of time is muttering ambiguously, lamenting his lack of a worthwhile life. Upon hearing that foreigners are visiting town, he finally lifts his eyelids, revealing the cloudy pupils underneath. Alive until sunset. A rock and roll band. The man snorts sharply. Let them rock and roll their way back to where they belong. They all know that this is just another of the Inquisition's cheap tricks. They're not welcome here. I don't either. I'm still in that first cutscene. Okay, well we're both in Confusion Land. The man picks up his bottle and walks out of the tavern unsteadily, his trailing voice still faintly audible. They've already ruined this place. What used to be our... Ragged beggar leans against the side of the chapel, his hands clasped together tightly. He is not so much praying as simply existing, hardly any different from a pebble. Day or night, young or old, healthy or sick, nothing matters to him. Nobody cares about him, and he also cares about nobody. The beggar bows his head deeply, tears rolling from his eyes. I don't deserve to be promoted. Okay, finally a map. Sea terror in the plaza. Sounds a bit like an Iberian proverb. Yeah, I see what Temp was talking about. The map's even smaller than usual. They don't use their user interface very well. Okay, well this is low level, which means I can clear. Which means I can just do this. I'm sure it'll be fine. Any operators I should pick? We do. I'm sure that'll be fine.
It's high tide.
Nether Sea Spewer. An attack all targets located on Nether Sea brand. Attacks up to 3 targets at once.
I will not back down. Give me orders.
Man, E1 zeros are very intense.
Your orders. Did you ever imagine friends turning against each other and homeland fading into nothing but memories?
Locked and loaded. My light will purge the vice.
I'm right by you. Open a hole.
Use Indigo for the sick lore? Lighthouse? Okay.
I'm in a gorgeous mood right now. You've never ever noticed the hideous grins of conspirators.
The guy walked directly into the sea. That was definitely lore-based. That's definitely lore-based. Oh wow, these guys hit like a truck.
Reading is its own art too.
ドクター、今回の装置はどうでしたか？どれも役に立ちましたよね。
Oh, nice. Lucky drop. Stringed instrument sculpture. A custom-made sculpture with a strange design, ingeniously divided into several visual distinct sections. According to the boss, the inspiration behind this design was a large, ancient stringed instrument. If you want proof, though, there naturally isn't any. I think it's kind of funny that I got a sculpture, and I just got Laurentina, who is also a sculptor. More... Alright. Alright, I can't handle this without everything... I can't... There's too much going on at once, and I want to raise the units, so... I'm just gonna do AP5, and I'll get back to you in a minute.
We all simply have differing viewpoints.
Excuse me. Laurentina is an artist, which explains why she is the way she is. That is so true.
We sing our elegy at full strain, in rivers of blood formed by fear.
Who said the movie star couldn't be a real kung fu master?
Beginning assignment. Illusion. The girl, expelled from the city, still returns to rescue it. We sing our elegy at full strain, in rivers of...
I will hear you all out afterwards. I will hear you all out afterwards.
Mission accomplished.
As long as I have enough sanity to clear the shop, nothing else really matters.
Over already? I was just starting to get warmed up.
And because this event runs for like 3 weeks, there's plenty enough time to get enough sanity to run through everything.
Have you rested well, Doctor?
Plus, we got an extension. Okay. Good golly gosh. Alright, let's get started on all of this. Because there is a lot. Let's maybe work backwards. Free stuff. I love free stuff. Thank you, free stuff. Thank you, Spectre. Hey, you're an op record. You're an op record. You're an op record. Pot 3 Lapland. You're an op record. You're an op record. You are a module, and I do want your module because it's cheap and effective. You're an op record. You're an op record. Giave! A man, get that pop too. Now we're talking. Pot 4 Sticia. Op record. Pot 2 Weedy. Op record, op record. Finally, pot 6 Roberta. Been late, it's been way too long for that. Nexus up. Stina up. Paradox Sim, and I do also want yours, but you need rocks, and that's the worst kind to have. Finally, Max Pod. Main stock, that's good. Pot 2. Pot 3. Pot 2. Sadly, only pot 2 with you, but we all gotta start somewhere, Chestnut. Alright. The legendary pots... Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Equipped units gain +7 attack. Do you know what also gives +7 attack? Amia existing on the battlefield is what gives +7 attack. And I can actually get her to pot 5 if I give her a token. That's, might be worth it. Might be worth it. I can actually make her a pot 6 with the, from the ones from, Phantom and Crimson Solitaire. I might do that, actually, just so I can brag about my pot 6, Spectre the Unchained. And pot 5 Irene as well. I could make her pot 6, but that's showing off a little too much. Right? Alright. Paradox Sims, Paradox Sims. We got things to raise now.
You must be Rhodes Island's commander. Operator Scylla, reporting in.
Scylla. Okay, so that's how you say her name, Scylla. I do not have any Vanguard ships right now. I'm so sorry, Scylla, but I cannot raise you right now. I just can't. I just don't have the stuff to do so. I don't have any supporter or Vanguard ships. So all these people just get to, I'm just gonna go ahead and make them A1 max, just so I don't feel bad about it. I got plenty of EXP. I got more XP than I actually need.
All memorized. Anything else?
I can't even do Chestnut. I just don't have anything. I was specifically prepped for the 6 stars that I was going to get, and nothing else. I can't do anything with them. But I can do everything with them.
Are you trying to tell me my combat style should be more fit in?
politenesses' sake, I accept your commendation. But to us abyssal hunters, combat is the means we have to master to survive. We don't need applause or flowers for it.
Give me that. Nice little refund, and get another refund as soon as we're done here. Alright, time for boot camp.
Are you trying to tell me my combat style should be more fit in? Are you trying to tell me my combat style should be more fit in?
What is she saying?
Are you
Fit
trying
in?
to tell
Yeah,
me?
fit in. I don't know if she's saying grammatically correct things, but she's definitely
Are you trying
saying
to tell
them.
me my combat style should be more fit in? Are you trying to tell me my combat style should be more... You chose a dangerous way to learn of the abyssal hunters and our enemies, Doctor. With nothing but your delicate body, the tides will drown you. But at the same time, you can count your lucky stars. Because I invite you to hide behind me.
Yeah, I really like Spectre's ult because, and Spectre's second op record, which was immediately following the events of Undertide, Laurentina still has some clarity at that moment, where she wasn't feeling overwhelmed with the intrusive thoughts that come from the Seaborn side of herself. The Spectre side. And at the end of it, she kind of learns to accept that part of herself, because she realizes she really can't go back to just being how she was before. It's become as much of a part of her, as though she's loath to admit it, as everything that was a part of her beforehand as well. So in this case, her personalities have kind of merged together because they are, like, the same person. They're just different forms that you take sometimes. I think that's nice. I think that's nice. Delicious. Plus 20% max HP. You know what? You know what? I'm not really going to be using this on much else. I mean, sure, I could use it on Phantom, but... Oh, I just realized. I was going to wait until I was done and got Rosmantis before I did that. Well, it's what's happened now. If I happen to get, like, 2 more Spectres, you know what? That was just a blessing I needed for that. I'm okay with that. And she has an op record. And I will not be... Well, actually, I might be doing this. I have a ton of these on hand. And her module is very, very, very good. We'll come back to this later, because I don't want to raise her to level 60 right now.
Are you trying to tell me my combat style should be more fit in? Are you trying to tell me?
All right, that's good.
My combat style should be more fit in?
All right, Irene, join your girlfriend. So, fun fact, Irene has a hand cannon that she does not use in normal attacks, which makes her one of the only lawful evil snipers in the game, because she can hit aerial units with her skill with a gun, but she does not use it at any other point in time.
Are these all your operators? Is it just me, or does some of them seem like an actual... What I need is Rhodes Island's power, not a commendation. But, I mean, this ribbon looks nice. Okay, I'll take it.
She is also currently the only person who can do levitate, which is kind of like a super stun in that they become aerial, cannot move, cannot attack, or use skills. So it basically gives them low altitude hovering. So they're harder to hit, but they also get like
These all your operators?
sort of stunned.
Is it just me, or does some of them seem like an actual security risk? Alright, fine. I will try my best to focus on their combat techniques. Are these all your operators? Is it just me, or does some of them seem like an actual security risk? Alright, fine. I will try my best to focus on their combat techniques.
You're not terribly wrong, Irene.
Are these all your operators? Is it just me, or does some of them seem like an actual security risk? It doesn't matter if Iberia faces ferocious tides or heavy storms. I will never back down, and my blade will never waver again.
You go, girl. So she gets an extra 3 attack speed because of her being pot 5. And doubled when there are sea monsters on the field. Hold on, my dog's at the door. Hi, Pearl. And Winnie. Hi, Winnie. Hi, girls. What do you want? Are you hungry? They're probably hungry. I could probably do this one too. I have a lot of D32 steel, actually, but again, level 60 is really expensive for me right now. I say as I'm about to level 60 perfumer.
Are these all your operators? Is it just me, or does some of them seem like an actual security risk? Alright, fine. I will try my best to focus on their combat techniques.
Perfumer, where you at? Perfumer also got a level 2 op record, and I do love Perfumer. And Rosemontis isn't for at least 2 weeks. Depending on whenever I either hit 300 or I happen to get her beforehand. Hi, Pearl. Calm down. Calm down. Alright, that's good. I will come back for her later. In the meantime, I need to attend to my dog real quick. Right, I gave them each a scoop of food, so if I'm lucky, they'll leave me alone. If I'm not lucky, well, I guess I'll have to go outside with them. But we'll have to get there when we get there. Alright, so that's everything I can do for right now. Yep, I can't do anything with any of these, unfortunately. Oh, no, I am not done. I am not done. I had other things I wanted to do. I have prepped up my units, and I can now, finally, without any issues, promote Heavy Rain. I almost forgot about her. I'm really hungry, so I grabbed some graham crackers. Need to get her finally above 3,000 HP. Okay, that's one. I can now promote Conviction. The power of memes compels you. And I'll probably get Convictions module. It's just much, much easier to get 4-star modules than not. Hold on. Itage's been way overdue on my list for a long time. Itage was one of the earliest units that I used because she was a good Helidrop assassin. I used her S1 and like TOW against the shamans and everything. Vermil's just been on the list. It's incredibly unfortunate that her artist is not a good person in many, many ways. Please do not look up her creator's profile. You will not see things that you enjoy. I will leave it at that. I think that's all I got for right now. Yep, Rosmontis is there for when Rosmontis time is ready. Okay, now I can probably actually do the event. My grandma is wanting some cottage cheese and peaches, so I'm gonna need to take another minute to go take care of her.
Thank you for always taking care of us.
I like this place. reckon it won't be easy to slack off once I become an actual.
Roaming under the night sky is just 100 times better than getting shut in here.
ここの内装スタイルは僕の故郷とはだいぶ違うね。
広い部屋ですね。それに
You have a pretty big ship here, but it's not nearly as roomy as an old Iberian flagship.
All right.
Have you rested well, Doctor?
All right, I'll be right back. Okay, I think I should be good now. Pearl got chased a little bit, so her energy's down, and my grandma got her stuff, so should be okay. Let's read all this nonsense that has so much going on. Logs, backpack, misty silhouette, title records. Hey, these are kind of the newspapers from Nearlight, I guess. These are CGs. That's a lot of items. Battered map. The calamity reshaped Iberia, not just in a metaphysical sense, or metaphorical sense, but in a very tangible sense. From the highly accurate markings and detailed annotations on this map, the surveyor must have poured a tremendous amount of effort into this undertaking. There must have been countless like-minded people who came forth following the calamity, catching every change, searching for every last inch of trauma to the land. Along with the new coastline, a new location was highlighted, where a new town by the name of Grand Faro would rise. A bridge to the Lost Lighthouse, a bulwark against the sea's invasion. It would become the starting point of Iberia's reconstruction. And soon enough, Iberia's glory would be reborn. At least, that's what the people back then believed. Now, even this map is torn and dilapidated, and the roads to Grand Faro long choked with weeds. How would this map surveyor feel if he knew how it ended? Luckily, he left this moral coil long ago. Hey. Okay, yeah, there's still lots going on here. Okay, how about the Dark Cellar? What the hell was that? Why is this happening to Grand Pharaoh? First the Ayer, now the cultists, and now these damned monsters. I need to leave this place. Otherwise... I've seen it with my own eyes. The Inquisition's flames will burn a person's soul dry. I'll leave these things to you. Okay. Thanks, man. I love free things. I see junk pile. A strange wheeled device rolls down from the pile of debris covered in dust and missing parts, but still emitting a strange glow. It's unclear what activated it, but it nevertheless whirls to life. Around its chassis are the words "Little Handy" written in Ayer. Or Aerin. If its missing components can be found, it may prove unexpectedly helpful on the battlefield. Little Handy added. You can edit your components on the squad page or Little Handy page at any time. Each component has 2 different effects, and you can switch to whichever comes in handy for you. After adding the components, make sure to save your customization for the Little Handies so that they will take effect. So this is the stickers from... yeah, this is the stickers from Dasla's Holiday. Man, they really just do not wean you into this at all. Cultists have infiltrated the town and the growling of monsters drifts from the shadows. It is impossible to pass through here. The devout gather around the chapel, trembling as they close their eyes. They turn around and press their foreheads against the cold wall, as if the chapel's weather-worn stone has become their last pillar of support. Fire! Light! He's brought light! An old man covers his eyes, convulsing as he screeches. He grew up along the coast. He longed for the freedom to see the ocean. This is ST-2. Man, if only I could get through this in a reasonable time period without my sanity crushing down upon me. Thank you, Gacha Design. This would almost seem more in depth, but you've created a system where I can't appreciate that. I'm sorry. Maybe later. Thiago attempts to convince Jordi to leave and tells them about the truth of Grand Federal. Dark Sea leaves no way out. This was Grand Federal, a seaside town, a rare sight these days. Rhode Islanders, Iberians, and even alive until sunset all gather here as storm is brewing. I'm gonna update my channel information. There we go. Plaza South unattended store. Cultists have infiltrated the town and their rituals are blocking the way. Okay, that's a lot of cultists in this place apparently. Plaza South. Do they turn to worship the sea because they despaired for the land? Nether Seed Spewer. Is this a hard chitinous? Or is it? Yeah. This is a hard chitinous shell that it uses to protect itself. Possibly capable of sporulation or similar function. A commonly seen sea terror where the Nether Sea brand proliferates. It has extremely low defense, but very high resistance. Kinda weird. Very high attack, though. Okay, we need to, Yuri was saying we need to bring in Indigo, and I completely agree. Let's get in Indigo.
It would be years before I could lead a team alone. I won't disgrace my master.
Teamwork? 勘弁しろよ。
S1 or S2? I know how S2 works, so how about S3?
Shall the hunt begin?
Attacks all blocked enemies, so let's move Heidi to S2 so we can work with her on that.
I will protect my home.
みんなの命より大事なものはないよ。安全に気をつけてね。
I will not back down.
Give me your orders.
Every battle deserves to be enjoyed.
Nether Sea Predator cannot be blocked while on Nether Sea brand. Gains physical and arts dodge disabled by certain negative status effects. I wonder what that means.
Your orders, please. Can't you feel the cities crumbling away?
杖が温まってきました。
Man, if only I knew what those status effects were.
My sword will respawn the instant I spot the movement.
Is there anything the girl, expelled from the city, still returns to rescue it?
Don't step at my heart. Will be the judge.
Apparently, levitate... Well, okay,
See the
so...
light of my lantern? I'm right here.
So the first attack missed, and then the other ones did not miss. So the first hit is dodgeable, the second part is not dodgeable.
Your orders. Can't you feel the cities crumbling away?
My patience is limited, Doctor.
Oh, these guys do sanity damage. Okay. That's relevant information that I did not have. Barely any sanity. Okay, I definitely need to prep my team for this.
Let me witness this with my own eyes.
And they weren't kidding, that predator can dodge. The cultists scatter before the abyssal hunters, a mysterious hunter by the name of Okeanis. That is the most unfortunate name I've ever seen. Kidnaps Amaya, while Elysium finds a clue in the files left by the cultists.
どれほどの罪を重ねてきても、その命と共に塵に帰るでしょう。
I'll make everything nice and pretty when we get to it, but for right now, we need to make sure our squad's all ship shape, no pun intended.
Perfect. I've been very curious to see how Rhodes Island carries out its missions.
Ah, another assignment perfect for testing weapons. Of course, I'm very pleased to be working with you, Doctor.
隊長はテキサスにやってもらおう。 隊長はテキサスにやってもらおう。
What do you need?
She wants Texas in the squad, I'm obliged to obligate.
仰せのままに。
I'll put Windflit in later. Don't worry. They'll get their trust grind. An old man's vigilant eyes peer out from behind the curtains. He had experienced this decades ago, and he is no stranger to it. Their hopes of rebuilding are being crushed underfoot, and the instigator is someone they believed in. The friends regarded as brothers have disappeared into the shadows. The plans into which countless hours were poured have been put on hiatus. And the imposing man with the lantern says that the cult has infiltrated you. The old man gazes at the photo hanging upside down over his bed. The once dazzling sunset has faded. And thus, a dream was shattered. Between monsters and humans, which is truly more terrifying? Stopping the spread of the sea terrors. A rustling sound comes from the empty shop. Is it the struggling of a victim, or... A sea terror is curled up behind the counter with an elderly woman sitting across from it. A stack of diagrams lies scattered between the old woman and the sea terror. Though half her face is concealed by a hood, she is undoubtedly staring at the creature before her. Many years ago, she had dedicated all of her talents to Iberia's greatest expedition, but the intrepidity ended in a terrifying silence. After experiencing hardship, struggle, and disillusionment, she gave herself to a greater cause, one transcending country or geography. She sought to find the perfect other side that all living things could cross over to. What's more, within the cult, she is able to continue the research on monsoons and hydrology that has captivated her so. Now that the Inquisition has arrived, the products of her blood, sweat, and tears must be burned. Her theories never to see the light of day. She chose to dedicate them to a cycle of the Great Evolution, to a sea terror. Sea terrors roam right in front of her, but do no more than roam. Fortunately, she is patient. Okay, that's, weird. Sheds still line the shores, offering a glimpse of how bustling this small town used to be. People from all over used to arrive, trying to restore a glimmer of hope following the calamity. But now, it has been abandoned. Its sheets of metal rusting away. The precious metals once used to build this place are now scattered about everywhere, no longer of anyone's concern. Main hall curtain. The long curtain is made of several strips, boasting a gradient design. Beyond the cabin lies the ocean. Is the ship fated to return to port in Iberia, or to sail deeper into the ocean? Along the uninhabited street, travelers from afar now sing. The hunters gather. The hunters encounter alive until sunset and realize that the town is under attack. Elysium is attacked by Ulpianus while protecting the town. Inspector runs into Amaya, believed to have been kidnapped. What was this first one? Yeah, storm is brewing. I have no idea who Amaya is, but I'm sure she's probably plot relevant. Warped mailbox. A warped mailbox with a strange device crammed into it. The words Wilderness Survival Module printed on the side in Aurian. seemingly slotting into Little Handy. Who put it here? And what message are they trying to send to whom? Doctor, here's your newly attained module. You can expect it in Little Handy. I don't know how to do a Spanish accent, I'm not gonna try. Active modules can assist us in better combating the Seaborn. Carry on exploring, and get your hands on even more. Ranged units gained plus 80% max HP and plus 250 defense. That is a lot. That is a lot of that is a lot of HP and a lot of defense. Heck yeah, I'll take that. Find a way to cleanse the Nether Sea brand. Until the forward base finds a way to deal with the Nether Sea brand, it is inadvisable to rush ahead through this area. Penal Battalion forward base. Here, and there too. They're everywhere. You can also inspect and adjust the modules of Little Handy here. Seems like there's only melee units here, so why not? These guys don't do a ton of sanity damage right now. We're holding a special training drill today, focusing on upcoming enemies and combat environments we'll likely be facing. Though this is only a simulated battlefield based on frontline information provided by the Inquisition, it must be taken seriously. What are those wiggling tiles? That is Nether Sea brand. Some scholars are calling it a unique oceanic life form, but we still don't have too much information at present. Watch. This unusually shaped organisms will spread to all adjacent tiles at fixed intervals. Dude, it's spread under the enemy's feet. Be careful. Some enemies can deal increased nervous impairment damage. Can deal increased nervous impairment when on Nether Sea brand. Instructor Doberman, the brand spread to me. I can sort of hear the slippy noise. Take care. Another Sea brand will deal arts damage and nervous impairment to any operators deployed on its tiles. Can I retreat, please? Feels like my shoes are gonna melt and I can't stand up. Deploying operators on Nether Sea brand is the only way to prevent its further spread. Any tiles without operators deployed will allow the brand to spread freely. I'll send a medic operator to back you up. Hang in there, Cora. There's another gap on the right side. Quick. Block the Nether Sea brand from spreading to the main battlefield. The rest is up to you now. Oh wait, something came by. Are you serious? Are you serious I failed the tutorial? Really? Because I didn't activate Poplar's skill.
Mission accomplished.
This is so embarrassing. That's what I get for eating a banana on stream. I find it interesting that they use Cora in this demonstration. That's really tight. She almost didn't get it. Well, this looks like another event where Honeyberry is pretty much going to be mandatory. This is why they give you, this is why they give Honeyberry to you. And she just becomes the only medic you can use ever. What were those years like? Repaying ardor with ardor, exchanging ideals for ideals. The Islanders and the Iberians somehow managed to share this place in close proximity, fighting side by side. When fighting against the ocean, no one has time to discriminate between people's origins. Hostility and haze following the calamity were swept away. The only thing in their eyes was the sea. Of course, there may have been something greater going on. Friendships solidified, and love quietly began to sprout. When the statue of the Eye of Iberia was erected in the town plaza, hardly a soul remained sober. Everyone took a group photo here, smiles on their faces, impossible to conceal. Everyone thought that the golden age would soon return, and with just a little bit more effort, everything would continue to improve. No one could have imagined that this was the final glimpse of a golden afterglow. Little handy. This device, this product was forged with the profound wisdom of the sages infused with our virtue of helping others. If you need a hand to deliver people from suffering, or if you wish to be freed from the trivialities of mundane affairs, then remember to come and get your little handy. God knows why something like this showed up in Grand Pharaoh. The Wilderness Survival Module component will help you and your little handy stave off from the pernicious fangs that dwell in the seabeds of trouble, or even the poisoned slings and arrows of fate's outrageous fortune. Citizens of Ayer who wish to visit the outside and challenge the unknown land, do not forget to bring this along. Seriously? How's this assortment of pulleys and thin wire supposed to keep people alive in the wilderness? Just stick it on and it'll work? Yeah, how it works. Has there ever been some majestic language of the ancient past that could describe everything between heaven and earth? Or we put into words the everything we might encounter in our day-to-day lives? Hi, Calcit. I love you, Calcit. You look beautiful today. Overcast Town. This little town is perennially covered in thick clouds, but the people beneath have grown accustomed to this in their daily hustle and bustle. But there may have once been a time when golden sunshine permeated its every corner. What is the ocean like? The youth with the air blood in his veins could only construct its sceneries in his imagination. Even stepping out onto the beach is already an adventure of sorts. Okay, that's the thing. Yeah, these are all individual logs and stuff. Okay. Quiet trail. They walk here freely. Okay, does Shattertide work on the Seaborn? Or does it cause it to miss?
Before I could lead a team alone. I won't disgrace my master.
Alright, well, we'll just have to find. Alsta's gonna be super thick in terms of HP.
Let's go. Let's begin.
Locked and loaded.
Got it. Cut them to pieces.
$3,500 HP.
The stressful test phase is now beginning.
Okay, somebody needs to be in front. Because otherwise he will get, because... Oh god, oh god, oh god.
Got it. You can't stop me.
Project here that needs all your cooperation for testing.
God, he does so much damage.
Rust and the scent of rust.
See the light of my light will purge the vice.
あなたは私がお守りします。杖が温まってきました。
And these guys have a high resistance or something?
Is there anything you need me to
My god, they do so much damage. They have such a high attack.
忘れたことはありません。
Every battle deserves to be enjoyed.
And now they're gonna be on the entire field. And he's unblockable now. No. That was the last guy, too. Okay, so apparently I need super healing. Or something. This one, I guess I just need, well, at least I get half the tokens. Take a loss. Okay, apparently I need very high healing because they do insane amounts of damage. All right, Honeyberry, get your little tuchus out here.
Over.
Why don't we all celebrate together?
Let's begin. Got it. You can't stop me.
My sword will respond the instant I spot the movement.
Rust. And the scent of rust. Every battle deserves to be enjoyed!
Arrived at designated position. Treatment target sighted. No matter what trouble we're in.
More! More!
No matter what trouble we're in, I'll face it together.
Is there anything he lifted his slaughterer's blade, not believing that he could earn the love of a different line?
See the light, my eyes will find the truth.
I can only have 7 people on this field right now. Alright, it can't spread past her, so that's fine. Oh, Alsta's doing tons of damage.
Everyone, hang on.
Is there anything to sing our elegy at full strain, in rivers of blood formed by...
No matter what trouble we're in, I'll face it together with all of you.
See the light of my blade will cleave the tides.
Waiting is... I'm not yet satisfied.
Mission accomplished.
Oh, Nelly. Okay.
Do we have a ballad of victory? Yes, but not now. We're still a long way from true victory, aren't we?
Yeah, those guys are... voice crack. Those guys are wild. Townsfolk attempt to hand Jordy over to the Inquisition to save themselves. The Iago helps Jordy escape. Meanwhile, the appearance of the Medici brand has put Carmen, Calcid, and the Hunters on alert. Burnt down Research Institute. Judging from the equipment remaining amongst the embers, this newly burnt down house was a secret research facility not too long ago. The Church of the Deep's cultists were trying to uncover the secrets of evolution. They seem to possess academic curiosity as well, not just blind faith. Salvage specimen storage. Specimens in the samples in the specimen storage escaped a fiery fate. Specimen storage contains a staggering number of samples, including photographs and anatomical diagrams and tissue cross-sections. Some of these species have never been observed in the evolutionary record. The promise of an evolutionary end goal is so enticing and so real that it can dive into the brightest minds to work towards it day and night, sacrificing themselves. How did the cultists feel towards the creatures they worshipped? When the scalps sliced through the flesh of the sea terror, did they feel the same pain as their own skin was being cut? Or will humanity's curiosity eventually supersede fate? So what, can I not do both of them? No? Samples have been removed and the specimen storage is now empty. Okay, I guess. Sea Terror research sample. Sea terrors are beautiful creatures. Please be aware. This is no mere verbal flourish. My colleagues often accuse me of being excessively romantic, and perhaps that's true. But I must reiterate, in my eyes, each sea terror is like a delicately crafted poem. They have rhythm, they have rhyme, and their very existence is worth admiring. Look at all these little critters in their myriad forms. Scholars of literature will stop at nothing to analyze why a poem tugs at their heartstrings. And we, in a sense, are doing the same. The Herald will forgive us, for we are not harming the great evolution, but rather studying how it becomes ever more resplendent. Alright, man, eugenics is bad. Don't do that. Abandoned factory. The factory has been abandoned for many years, the skeletons of incomplete ships scattered among mechanical giants like corpses rotting in the wilderness. Their flesh and blood plucked away, the factory came to life along with Grand Pharaoh itself. Its ambitious builders certainly unable to imagine that things would end this way. Pretty much anything of value has already been whisked away, but the collectors over the years seem to have overlooked the toolbox in the corner. Hidden inside the toolbox in the corner are several blueprints and a notepad. The blueprints, signed by Chief Naval Architect Briogan, depict a massive battleship, the magnum opus of Iberia's golden age before calamity struck. But both Grand Pharaoh, I can never say this the same way twice, and the factory were born after the calamity. The ships slated to be built here were nothing more than laughable toys compared to even the smallest in the fleet. The engineers here still carry with them blueprints of things that can no longer be brought into being. Are they meant for technical reference, or are they merely holding on to a beautiful dream? Funnily enough, even this parody of the Golden Age is filled with nothing but corpses. Collapsed Residency. This place may have been inhabited by Air Islanders, as the signboards bear faintly visible patterns distinct from the Iberian style. Now it is completely uninhabited, and when the previous inhabitants left, they lacked the time to even take their supplies with them. Movable soft chair. A normal soft stool. The dark cover can be removed for easy cleaning. Furniture made for humans has not been used for quite some time. On the long road beside the ocean, the representatives of two civilizations speak herein. And I will be skipping that. At this town of special significance, the Inquisition and Abyssal Hunters must negotiate face-to-face and reach a conclusion. They search once again for the Eye of Iberia with time at their heels. Sure, that turns out very well. Grand Pharaoh needs you. Here we will restore Iberia's glory. That's what they told us from the very beginning. That's right. Those of us who didn't want to die gathered here to build our town. Iberians will not be struck down by any calamity. And even our islander brothers joined us, I must say. Their technological skills are completely beyond us. And it was a little surprise to me that Master Briogan is an heir. I've never worked with Master Briogan before, and after seeing his blueprints and diagrams, this has become a lifelong regret of mine. There's an old engineer in the shipyard who worked under him, and supposedly participated in designing the capital port. But he never said a word about Master Briogan, as if nobody wanted to even bring him up. Why is that? In any case, I'm going to press this blueprint underneath the glass of my drafting table. We may never be able to design and build such a beautiful ship ever again, but it is just as important to remind everyone that we once could. Cold Reef Port. The calamity completely reshaped Iberia's coastline. A majestic harbor built more than 70 years ago sank into the sea without a trace. It goes without saying that Cold Reef Port cannot hold a candle to it. Though small, it still serves a few brats for massive ships. In reality, those ships would never return to port. A few bursts for massive ships. A few of the small vessels prepared beforehand by the Penal Battalion are moored in the port. When they set sail into the sea for the first time, they will face completely unknown winds and waves. Arriving at the Eye of Iberia. After the plan to build Grand Faro was put on hold, Cold Reef Port was almost never used. The few voyages in the port's records were mostly small-scale search missions carried out by the Inquisition in the Penal Battalion. Nobody ever returned from those expeditions. Today, this long-since lonely port will finally see off another ship from its embrace. Its crew will set out to find the Eye of Iberia that is still looking out over the ocean. The Penal Battalion prepared the boat in advance. The old dock worker carrying out work he was unfamiliar with, loading the vessel with supplies for the voyagers. The boat slowly left the port, disappearing from the people's sights. The dock worker thought to himself that he might never get the chance to send off another ship in his few remaining years. The warehouse holds supplies designated for the next voyage. The only problem, nobody knows when that will be, or if it will ever happen. Okay, so I gotta kill 80 sea predators. Okay. Eye of Iberia. Nobody knows why this lighthouse survived the disaster, but perhaps it is because no matter how terrifying the wind and waves are, nothing can stop people from gazing towards the sea. Iberia's eyes will never close, only be temporarily clouded over. That is a rather advanced-looking lighthouse. Bloody sketch added to inventory. Head to the lighthouse control room. It was a rainy night. A High Inquisitor staggered back to the station. Her wounds were severe, and her sides had been punctured. It was a miracle she was still hanging on after trudging so long through the curtain of icy rain. People helped her to the fire, attempting to restore her body temperature with little success. The doctor found that she had basically already bled dry. The High Inquisitor, known for her resourcefulness and decisiveness, had led her team on a hunt for a Bishop of the Deep. By all means, this should have been a fairly low-risk mission, considering her past accomplishments. By this time, the station lost contact with her entire team. Iberia has been toiling ceaselessly to rebuild itself from the ruins. The accidents were not uncommon, but still heart-wrenching. But now, she had managed to return. The doctor found her right hand clenched in a death grip, as if holding on to something. She could no longer control her muscles, and her nails pierced into her palms. Yet still, she held on, unwilling to release herself from her agony. She was waiting for someone. Lord Carmond finally rushed over, and the High Inquisitor squeezed one last breath of air from her lungs. Her faint, wispy voice reverberating through the entire station. There is still a lighthouse that remains standing. There are still compatriots who remain watching. And her clenched fist was this rough sketch. I admire all the details they're putting into this. Landing port, it shuts its eyes, its sweet dreams, unprepared for a decade. Remaining in town, Carmen and Calcid attempt to dispose of the wicked cultists before the penal battalion arrives, improvising a frontline position. The voyage for the lighthouse's waters is far from plain sailing, and the hunters have no option but to confront the sea terror menace head-on, as well as the mysterious guest. Excuse me. Eyes of Iberia, Sea House entrance. Before you step through the entrance, you must first sweep aside all obstacles. Hand of the Saint bounces a Hand of the Saint in the deployed direction, stunning and dealing damage to enemies it collides with. Okie dokie. Are there sea marks on this floor at all? It doesn't say at all, so very helpful, thank you. It's really hard to keep track of where all the story bits are. But you got these interludes, and you also have story with the missions themselves. There's a lot going on, I'll give you that. Well, I guess I'll just keep the 40% healing if there's more marks on the ground. Gonna need it.
I have the intel for what lies ahead all sorted. Go forth.
Yep, there's the goo.
Draw swords. Rust. And the scent of rust.
Oh, there's some back there, too.
Awaiting order.
I see. It wants me to prevent this from reaching this guy. Did it?
Hi. I'm in a gorgeous mood right now. Is there anything you need me delivering? Arrived at designated position. Treatment target sighted. I've got a way to treat you here. My patience is limited. I've got a way to treat you here.
Lapland's having a bad time.
Awaiting order. Cut them to pieces.
No matter what trouble we're in, I'll face
Alright,
it
it's
together
on
with all of you.
Spectre now. I can't do anything about that.
Locked and loaded.
Is there anything he lifted his slaughterer's blade, not believing that he could earn the love of a different line?
They're trying to be unblockable. They're trying.
No matter what trouble we're in, I'll face it together with all of you.
See the light of my eyes will find the truth. See the light of my heart will be the judge. Awaiting order.
Get a hold of your breathing and relax.
命令をくれ。
全員倒さないといけないですか？
苦しみを忘れたことはありません。
僕が行きましょう。
I gotcha.
Mission accomplished.
Jordy searches for the entrance to the lighthouse under the protection of Irene. The last night, obstinately believes that this lighthouse is a disguise for the terrible waves. Oh hey, it's Blumishine. Hi Blumishine. We'll see you later, Blumishine.
どれほどの罪を重ねてきても、その命と共に塵に帰るでしょう。
So far, this isn't going terrible. Not stupendous, but not terrible. What's that, I wonder? Lighthouse Caretaker's Lounge. This small cottage still holds on to light. Still holds on to signs of life. When the calamity struck without warning, the guards stationed here were never heard from again. But now, more than 60 years later, there's still a guard staring out the window at the sea. His body has long since decayed and his eye sockets hollow. But duty is nevertheless duty. This diary records the years that the lighthouse's keepers spent here. One day, the silent waves swept through everything. They found themselves trapped here in the middle of the ocean. At first, there was fear and panic. Then there was an attempt to escape. Finally, they accepted their fate. Even when dignity, civilization, and all that humans are meant to rely on are cast aside, it is not at all that difficult to survive. Whenever one falls in their duties, they become nutrients for another to continue the vigil. Okay, that's weird. The text on the last page of the diary is smudged with water, now barely legible. All that we do, even sin and blasphemy, is not for the sake of our ultimate victory. It is for the hope that our defeat can be slightly delayed. Wow, man, you're not winning any, You're not winning any awards with that kind of attitude. Rummage the drawers. Upon opening the drawers, the keeper's belongings can be seen neatly stowed inside. By the looks of it, someone had fastidiously tidied the place. There's a broken dagger in the drawer, no doubt having been in a brutal fight. There's also half a pack of tobacco, but no matches to go along with it, which must have disappointed the original owner. There are also a few arts units here that have fallen apart, with signs of having been repaired as much as possible. Additionally, there's a photo, at best by the passage of time, that is now completely unidentifiable. A small communication terminal is located here. The knob that adjusts its frequency band worn shiny smooth. There's still a few pieces of weathered jerky of unclear origin. Eye of Iberia. Those who have set foot here, borne witness here, also slumber here eternally. Their sacrifice is worth remembering, precisely because we have not forgotten the ambition that this lighthouse symbolizes. An extinguished lantern. The Iberian scriptures teach us that the lantern's flame guides the way forward, that this place where it halts is the home we must safeguard. As long as the flame is not extinguished, neither will hope be. But what if it goes out? Be it during the age of Church of Iberia or the age of the Inquisition, theologians have always avoided this question, or casually dismissed it with a platitude to the effect of, "The lantern in my heart will never be extinguished." Occasionally, someone with a more New Age concept of fate would shut some sophomoric rhetoric that if the flame ever went out, they'd set their own body alight to reignite it. A pity that such things are easier said than done. The keepers trapped in the lighthouse are also contemplating this question. The conclusion they reached is to continue surviving in the darkness. Corridor to the control room. This is the lighthouse the elders spoke of, the Eye of Iberia in Geordie's dreams. These corridors, stairs, and panels may once have been tread upon and touched by his parents. Geordie tries to feel an aura of familiarity from them. Countless times he has sketched his parent likeness from his imagination, the way they would shuttle between lighthouses. His few notes left behind correspond to reality, line by line. Perhaps their bones can still be interred somewhere in this lighthouse. The thought makes Geordie shudder. Now he stands at the same place, his hand covering the same control panel. Where, then, will fate take him? Geordie decides not to think about these things. He must accomplish his duties, irrespective of his identity, his worth, or his beliefs. Geordie stands here for the sake of his unrealistic dreams, and though he may be anxious and uncertain, the one thing he is not is lost.
So, you're the doctor. Pleased to meet you. My codename is Lumen, and I will now be serving as a Rhodes Island operator. Even if I can only bring you a thin filament of light, I will give all my strength.
Thanks, man. Compared to his work with the Inquisition, he's more confident in tending to others after all. Chapel caretaker of Grand Pharaoh. Here to soothe your wounds. And... Dude. Oh. Yes.
Have you rested well, Doctor?
Gotta do quick fixer-upper right here.
Do we really have to face such terrifying things? Do we really have to face such terrifying things? No, I can't accept this. I've just been doing my job. Nothing worthy of a promotion. Please, you don't need to look so dejected. Fine, I'll take it.
Yep, that's all that's gonna happen for right now. I don't think he has a Hispanic accent at all. I thought I heard something for a minute, but I guess not. Hard to say. Getting hungry again. Okay, that's the cutscene. Lighthouse control room. Lay foes low with bravery's blade. Light the way with hope's flame. Oh, I never actually looked into this Hand of the Saint thing. Lumen, I would use you, but... I
thought it would be years before I could lead a team alone. I won't disgrace my master.
But, yeah... I need good healers right now. Considering how much damage these guys do. The Eye of Iberia has been rekindled. The conspiracy in Grand Faro seems to be drawing to a close. The ocean is always touching this land, pushing everything into the abyss. Nethersea Founder spawns Nethersea brand at its location. When defeated, increased resistance. Okay, so to my understanding, these guys right here can be silenced, and they will not...
Draw swords.
And they will not have any issues dropping Nethersea brand. So that just means I just need to use my good old rusty...
Dust and the scent of rust. Everyone, focus on fighting. Just leave treatment to me.
My good old trusty wolf lady person.
Fall in line a little with our work, Doctor.
Get a hold of your breathing. No matter what trouble we're in, I'll face it.
Yep. Now, if only the game could tell you what is silenceable and what is not.
Cut them to pieces.
Everyone, hang in there.
Yeah, Lapland's just doing all of this work.
一瞬です。こんなの悲しいです。ここで大丈夫です。 reach for the crown, and he raised his
Way to go,
sword.
Lapland S1. You did the entire map. Isn't it so nice to know what actually silence is? The remaining Church of the Deep cultists reach an agreement with Thiago. Halcyon and Carmen are delayed, and there is no time to wait at the Eye of Iberia. The hunters and Irene decide to go ahead and locate the great ship.
やるじゃねえか。もしシラクーザに生まれてたら、あんたは間違いなく凄腕のハンターになってたぜ。
God, there's so much stuff. Open the cabinet's swaying doors, and a complex-looking device can be found resting inside. A thin line of Aryan... That word's so weird to read. Aryan... Thin line of Aryan text along its sides reads, Housekeeping Assistant Module. Seems to fit into one of the slots of Little Handy. It appears to have been carefully stashed here at some point, but where did it come from? I didn't think I could actually get that. The Housekeeping Assistant Module component will enhance the efficiency of your home's cleaning specialist. Change the mode etched into its core, and it will cleanse the dust in your home and the filth in your soul. Please attach it to the corresponding slot in your Little Handy today. The Hand of the Saint is a battlefield support device distributed by the Inquisition to particularly harsh frontline battles, carrying out the will of the Saints by sweeping away all impurities. Additionally, reports of these devices were confiscated from the Air Islanders that merely are... Reports that these devices were confiscated from the Air Islanders are merely rumors. Please be sure to distinguish fact from fiction. Guardia decides not to think about these things. He must accomplish his duties irrespective of his identity, his worth, or his beliefs. He stands here for the sake of his unrealistic dreams, and though he may be anxious and uncertain, the one thing he is not is... Okay, that puts it in my inventory, but does not give me access. Okay. Half-open safe. In a half-open safe sits an outdated nautical chart once used by the old Iberian fleet to conquer the seas. The crystallization of their explorations through the mist. Unfortunately, it is now nothing more than a scrap of paper. A few other miscellaneous items also sit at the bottom of the safe, but nobody left to use them. Finely carved marble staircase. How did they shove that in the safe? A spiral staircase in the Lithuanian architectural style. It is itself a work of art, carved from a single block of marble. That is a huge block of marble. Go up to survive, down to perish. Such is the law of evolution. No, no it is not. No, no. Evolution is not this be-all, end-all thing to survive. Evolution is just a thing that happens over time. Evolution can kill you because it's all about genetics being carried into the future. You can carry bad genes into the future. That's still evolution. Don't feed me this bullcrap. I'm sorry, I'm not taking anything about eugenics today, okay? I'm not taking this oceanic Lovecraftian nonsense about eugenics. Gotta punch the next person. I'm gonna... Yeah, I would. In this particular situation, if I was the doctor and Kelsa was right there, I would punch somebody, and I would let her chastise me for it. I would punch the next person who talks about the freaking end goal of evolution or something. You know, that utter complete nonsense. Anyway. Choose destination, the Lost Flagship. Shiny. Stultifera Navis. When disaster struck, both the great flagship Stultifera Navis. Please let me know if I'm saying this very, very wrong. Stultifera Navis. Stultifera Navis. The ship of fools, and the Iberian fleet to which it belonged were out at sea. Great waves swallowed everything, but the ghosts of the past still linger. Flagship's engineering blueprint. When the blueprints of the Stultifera Navis, the ship of fools, were sent to the royal family and the aristocrats, even the dullest of dignitaries knew exactly what that meant. The engineer from Air had continuously proselytized about the threat from the sea to the point where his rhetoric to the point that his rhetoric grated on everyone's nerves. But by the looks of things, their patience was well worth it. Of course, the ignoble engineer insisted that the ship was for scientific research. But through the forceful intervention of the royal family, it was nevertheless equipped with high-strength armor and a main battery of fearsome caliber. After all, if such threat did exist, it must be dealt with through appropriate countermeasures. Next, they blurred the precise nature of this threat just a little bit. People are much more willing to hate specific things than broad concepts. Much more willing to lust after tangible benefits than vague ideals. The ship is better put to use against Iberia's enemies than fighting against the sea. Presumably, the air engineer will have no objections to these minute details. Finally, the trajectory of the Stultifera Navis is brought to light, and the lost flagship once again graces human eye. Control passage. Within the broken mirror, Spectre finally sees her completed self. Good for her, good for her. $25 of those things. There's an Originium panel here. Yeah, just what I need. More pain. Like how Senate. The lonely journey finally reaches a turning point. As the golden ship appears in front of the hunters, a mysterious enemy lying dormant in the ship also responds. Nether Sea Brand Guider. After falling below half HP, spreads Netherbrand seed to tiles it travels over, and gains increased block and defense. Uh... Okay. Okay, so it has 2,000 attack, and it stuns and deals damage, so... I guess that's used to hit some of the unblockable guys, and to clean up the floor, maybe? Something?
Let's begin. Awaiting order. You can't stop me.
Man, there's no Ifrit lines here. I don't like that. Give me an Ifrit line. I guess this counts.
The stressful test phase is now beginning.
Something got by. That's unfortunate.
Do you have any additional directives? Do you have any additional... Of course! This is part of work.
Okay, so this thing can also be silenced. That's unfortunate. That's bad.
Dust and the scent of rust. 私はここにこんなの悲しいです。準備できます。この敵たちはどれも波の危険さには及びません。
Do you have any addition? Can I make sure none of you will surrender just yet?
Waiting is its own art too.
できるかな?
Okay, that was interesting. Okay, so at half HP, you can silence it, and it won't spread anything. I can work with that. I just need to bring in Podenko, maybe. To slow things down, because Cure Serum can can keep things perma-silenced through the effect of his skill. And Podenko can also apply silence and do a very good amount of arts damage. And so long as I don't take any... And so long as it doesn't crack and drop any C-brand, I shouldn't have to worry about it.
Let's go. Draw swords. Shut up.
stressful test phase is now beginning. Do you have any additional? Of course. This is. You can
Nailed it.
order me for anything you'd like.
Now we reset.
I'm a gorgeous move.
Cut them to pieces.
Do you have any additional? I'd like to ensure you all persevere until I can gather enough data.
Nailed it. Yeah, Cure Serum is just rocking out right there.
Mission accomplished.
A pleasing result. It seems once we return and I
Final
finish
record
collating this
box?
data,
Oh, that's
I'll have
that's
some
Spectre's.
spare time for free movement. Well then, do you have any free time coming up, Doctor?
Hold on a second. I want to respond to my friend real quick. Okie dokie. Alright, we're good. This is a very big event. Really, really big. Normally by this point I would have been done like an hour ago. We got the head officer's domed elevator. Like we're playing Resident Evil Revelations over here. Tool room. This used to be the tool room on the Stultifera. Used to store instruments, tools, and supplies needed for the ship's maintenance. But for a ship that has endured a horrific tragedy, a horrific calamity, losing its mobility in the process, banking on these tools alone might be wishful thinking. Search the cabinet. It may well be the case that even the most skilled craftsmen of today's nations would be helpless before these devices. Not because of how complex their structure is, but rather from the difficulty of operating their arts units. Most of these tools are fairly simple for a beginner to operate. A flip of the switch and a few button presses and they'll spring to life and efficiently get the job done. The only issue is, nobody knows exactly why they work. Just as humans cannot imagine walking without legs or grasping without hands, these machines lack any kind of recognizable engine or power supply mechanism. Only God knows how they work. The way they use orgenium is completely different. the head. Inside the bathroom, everything looks good as new, and drops of water dribble from the spigot. The only unusual thing is that all the mirrors have been shattered, now only able to reflect broken images. There are still unused supplies in the storage box under the sink. All attempts to tread onto the sea have been vain and futile. Where the compass points is certain to be anguished, turbid, sunken. The Iberians of times past guided their course by compass, the needle bearing the weight of their wild ambitions and golden dreams. Naught but ravings nowadays. The needle's broken, the brass is tarnished, and now know the dreadnought's end or the silent sea. There's nothing worth taking from the ship's lavatory. Okay. First gallery. Above this room's door hangs a sign that reads First Galley. From the size and scale of this kitchen alone, one can already imagine the grand occasions on which scrumptious dishes would emerge from here. Check the freezer, frozen shut. Open the door and search. As its name suggests, the first galley is one of several kitchens. In addition, there's a kitchen for preparation and plating, another for desserts, and so on. The crew here is served delectable dishes worthy of their honorable statuses. Or at least they were in the past. Naturally, the calamity and the starvation that ensued quickly and mercilessly stripped people of their veneer of virtue. However, let us pray that the blackened bloodstains at the corner of the galley are but accidental splatters from the chef carving beef steak. The desalinization unit installed in the kitchen seems to be out of use for many years. Even the hardiest of races cannot survive by drinking seawater. Okay. My computer suddenly had a moment there where it just completely shut down with OBS. Hang on. Alright, well that was annoying. Hopefully that doesn't happen again, but now I'm probably gonna have to download the VOD and splice them together, and that's gonna be annoying. But that's what I get for not recording. Anyway. Lower hall. There's still unopened rooms in the officer's lounge. Make sure there are no potential threats before continuing on. Crew quarters. A strange noise comes from the room, as if something is persistently rapping against the wall. Regular and hollow, persistent and monotonous. Unsurprisingly, it is the sea terror. It stumbles to a halt and turns around. If sea terrors also possess the mental state of confusion, then the sea terror before your eyes is without a doubt confused. It seems to have been battling a wall for some time now, the side of its body thorny and chitinous from the collisions. If it has no way to leave, it will ultimately give up, turning itself into nutrients for its kin. Its body has been impaled with a string of keys, likely remnants of its last mortal struggle. Its opponent had likely broken their blade and reached for whatever sharp objects were available, persisting until the bitter end. Perhaps the wound just happened to cut into a certain nerve node in the sea terror. Or perhaps there is some other reason it escaped the crew quarters and decided to do battle against the wall. It might even be another possibility. In any case, pull out the keys and put an end to its miserable existence. There's nothing left here except a bed that will never again offer sweet dreams to anyone. Tool room. Rummage through the drawers. At the bottom of the drawer is a sheet of paper that has long since yellowed. Next to it are words written in striking red paint. Don't go to the deck. Don't jump overboard. Don't allow yourself to stink. Read it, and remember who you are. This piece of paper seems to have been cut from the officer's manual, and is filled with flamboyant rhetoric boasting that the ship can be called a palace on the Iberian Sea, a mobile throne for exalted kings. The officers and researchers lucky enough to have been selected as the crew of the Stultifera Navis were the most outstanding talents of Iberia's golden age. One of the passages was marked with a highlighter. In any given era, there is only so many names that will be remembered. History, and all of its cruelty, shows no mercy to the mediocre. Congratulations, my most glorious crew member. You shall surely enter the annals of history. Storage room filled with spare sails. Unfold one and you will find a canvas decorated with golden threads and carefully embroidered with the pattern of the Iberian flag. Maybe there is some useful supplies to be found here. Officer's Lounge. There are several pieces of damaged art in the Officer's Lounge. Large, torn-apart oil paintings, pure white sculptures shattered into pieces, carved into bronze reliefs. There are also more bizarre things, like a billiards table inlaid with silver, and a number of poker cards with intricate patterns that appear to be hand-drawn. For whatever reason, the traces of the passing years can be seen on this note. It has never been moved, replaced, or dusted, always remaining in its original position, faithfully conveying the message left by the one who penned it, day after day, year after year. Don't touch them. Those are my treasures. You'll pay if anything goes missing. Try to control yourself the next time you get into a fight. There aren't many things left on this ship to prove where we came from. After the passage of a great many moons, the original witnesses have long disappeared. But these manuscripts remain elegant and dignified. Open inner door. The locked door has been opened. This area inside the lounge originally was a small conference room, but by the looks of things, the last meeting here did not go over very well. Documents are strewn all over the place, trampled upon by panicked footprints. A huge chart hangs in the conference room, marking the position of every ship in the Grand Fleet. The icons that once represented their existence have all been extinguished, leaving the chart empty. Its azure background now symbolizes the boundless ocean upon which this flagship floats, alone. And thus, the mightiest fleet ever known to Terra quietly dissolved into this blue expanse. Join the pride and ambition of Iberia past. Domed elevator. Strange noise comes from the distance. It seems that this ball has not yet ended. The ballroom has entertained all sorts of guests. Why not head to the first galley, see if there are any delicacies there yet to be served. His eyes widened with anger, his hand not letting go of the helm for decades. I was not expecting this much reading today. In the middle of the battle with the mysterious Seaborn, the true master of the ship appears. The decades have not robbed him of his human mind, but he refuses to acknowledge reality and views the past with anger. Check the freezer. Mist scatters in every direction when the freezer door is opened. It's been on this entire time. Dozens of sea terror carcasses are lined up neatly in the freezer. There are many different kinds. And some are no longer complete, their wounds smooth and most likely caused by a clean cut. A few other skeletons of various shapes and sizes have been hung in a way that could be described as disconcerting. But it is simply a collection of different evolutionary trajectories. From the differing rates of discoloration in the bones, their ages vary as well, possibly spanning decades. By the looks of it, the ship has also welcomed some non-speaking guests. That's disconcerting. How would you please leave in pieces? Really does wine pour, bodies litter the floor. So he's a Forte, but his arm looks a little bit Seabornified. You been eating that good stuff, man? Bizarre cultist. On the Stultifera, the hunters are unable to reach an agreement with Alfonso, just as it is impossible for the cultists and townspeople of Grand Fara to reconcile with the Inquisition. Conflicts deeply rooted, with a dire need for resolution. The huge dome elevator in the middle of the Stultifera connects the various levels of this great ship. When riding it, one may witness Iberia's breathtaking scenery depicted across the walls. Standing here, it's like standing in the center of the world. Mist Piercer. The golden specter emerges from the depths of the mist. Even the passage of more than 60 years unable to block out its light. Visitors, are you prepared to face its whisper? Hey, it's Spectre. Hi, Spectre. Ancient Throne. Shadows continue to linger beside that ancient throne. They have always been part of that radiance. A lot of cutscenes. Every once in a while, when the music starts to turn, I feel like I'm hearing the notes of my phone trying to get my attention. Faded photo. From what few materials remain, this part of the ship was called the Domed Elevator. Though the photo has already faded, you can still see what it looked like when it was first built. This is the heart of the Stultifera Navis. To use a somewhat corny metaphor, if the Stultifera is the crown of Iberia, then the domed elevator is its brightest gemstone. When designing this area, Barragan intended it to be a purely functional device connecting the various decks. But the people who made it what it would become were Iberia's greatest artists. Along the walls surrounding the dome, they painted the most elaborate frescoes, engraved the most profound poems, and inlaid the most awe-inspiring statues. The process of stepping into the elevator was in itself a visit to Iberia's most vaulted treasures. Rumor has it that at least 3 of the royal palace's artists died in duels for the privilege to have a place in the domed elevator project. I still need more. And I still need to kill more for that. Maybe later. Training area. A training area packed with sea terrors, seemingly startled awake by the sound of hunting bells. This place, once used for human training, is now their hatchery. In the darkness, sets of eyes shine with an eldritch glow. Sounds of crawling and slithering fill the air. Their hostility is practically palpable. Draw your blade. The battle for survival. In the end, a sea terror is nothing more than a sea terror, and the battle soon reaches its conclusion. They slink back into the darkness to recuperate, awaiting their next opportunity. That is the nature of the hunt. You are either the hunter or the prey. A rather large sea terror died under the watch of its kin. From its peduncle hangs a pocket watch which, based upon its engravings, once belonged to the navigator of the Stultifera Navis. From the perspective of their species' survival, would sea terrors ever evolve a compulsion to collect? Pipe shaft. The area inside the pipe shaft is a complete mess. Seems there was some brutal fighting occurred here. And based on the sword marks left behind, both sides must have been human. This place is... Okay, OBS died again. I'm starting to think I might want to switch this up into 2 parts. Because, yeah. That's the second time it's disconnected, so I don't want to... I'll come back tomorrow and I'll finish this then. In the meantime, I'll finish reading this. No, upon closer inspection, you realize it's actually 2 skeletons entangled together. One of the skeletons seems so warped and twisted that it resembles the bones left behind by a certain species of sea terror. One long sword pierced through what had once been their chests, while a second sword remains in their grasp. From the looks of it, they had been the ones to drive the first sword through their bodies. Why would their deaths be like this? What was their relationship? What were they thinking before they died? Perhaps no one will ever know. Around the skeletons, a half roll of cipher book pages is sitting in the corner. The remaining pages are filled with various ciphers, one of which matches the password format in the records room. Unfortunately, it remains incomplete. Okay, so... One long sword pierced through what had once been their chest, while a second sword remains in their grasp. From the looks of it, they had been the ones to drive the first sword into their bodies. through their bodies. I don't quite get it. I guess one of them was being the Thinged and they killed themselves. This is difficult to read. Did the Sea Terror one impale them both? Or what? Like, somebody needs to break that down for me. Alright, this is the last thing I'm gonna read, and then I'm gonna call it quits. How much can a single sword endure? When it was cast, it was already doomed to be thrust through someone's chest. No matter how much it is adorned with honor and etiquette or respect, the immutable fact is that the sword is an instrument of slaughter, and will sooner or later drink blood. Only this time, blood is brought before it differently. When these two people put their lives on the line, what exactly were they searching for? What keeps them going? Is it love, impulse, or mercy? Perhaps they seek to save each other's souls. Perhaps the only way to do so is to destroy each other. Yeah, I don't quite understand that. I'm gonna grind out some of these stages just so I keep the sanity. If I could have gotten a couple more this one has Ori Rock, so I'll just grind that one. If I could have gotten to a couple more stages, then I could have gotten to the manganese, but there's just so much more reading, and I don't wanna drop frames again, so. I apologize, I would have gone for like another hour, guys, but, yeah, either my internet is having problems or OBS is having problems, and it's gonna make it even harder to deal with down the line. So thanks for joining me. I'll find somebody to raid real quick. Okay, my friend Lyra is currently streaming some kind of new indie game, the Entropy Center. And, since I have time, I'll send y'all over to her. Thanks for joining me, everybody. I'm sorry we didn't get further, but you know, technical difficulties. But we'll kick some Seaborn butt next time. Bye bye.